Imagine if you could speed up your body's healing just by changing how you perceive time. It sounds like science fiction, but recent research from Harvard might prove otherwise. Today, we're delving into this mind-bending study. Do you experience time passing quickly or slowly, or do you find that you experience time passing about the same as clock time? Just take a moment to think about that and let me know in the comments below before you continue watching. So, in a fascinating Harvard study, Physical Healing as a Function of Perceived Time, researchers tricked participants into believing time was moving faster or slower than it really was. They then observed how this perception affected the healing of wounds, and the results were truly surprising. The study involved a cupping procedure where participants had their skin mildly wounded. They then perceived time passing for either 14 minutes, 28 minutes, or 56 minutes. But there was a catch. The actual time that elapsed was always 28 minutes. It didn't matter whether they thought more or less time had passed. And the results may well shock some people. Have you ever felt like time just flew by or dragged on forever? How do you think that might impact your body? In this study, participants healed the most when they believed more time had passed. It was as if, because they thought more time was passing, then their bodies had more time to heal, and so they did. And it was quite a significant difference in healing between those who believed only 14 minutes had passed compared to those who believed 56 minutes had elapsed. The difference in those deemed to have almost completely healed by the end of the session was 15% in the 14-minute condition compared to 24% in the normal time, so that's the 28-minute condition, and 34% in the 56-minute condition. Now, obviously, this is just one study, so more research will need to be done. However, it does add to a growing body of evidence about mind-body unity. The theory of mind-body unity proposes that the mind and body interact in a bidirectional and simultaneous manner. This research was consistent with other research into the effects of perceived time on physiological outcomes, including studies demonstrating that blood glucose levels among diabetics followed perceived time, not clock time, that EEG activity, reaction times, and cognitive performance followed perceived sleep rather than actual sleep. People responded as if they had 8 hours of sleep if they believed that they had 8 hours of sleep, even when they perhaps had really only had 5 hours, and responded as if they had 5 hours of sleep if they believed that they had 5 hours of sleep, even when they really had 8 hours. It also complements previous research into variables affecting healing, like the less stressed people are, the faster they heal, and the older people are, the slower they heal. And there are ways to encourage youthfulness and to reduce stress. It also demonstrates what most of you watching this probably already know, that the mind-body connection is important. So it's helpful for clinicians, even those who perhaps predominantly work with physical problems, to consider the psychological factors within health and well-being, looking at perceptions, expectations, and beliefs that clients hold, which can be influencing how they heal physically. And for all of us to obviously work with people in a more holistic way. As someone who teaches about psychological therapy, my thoughts are, what are the practical applications of this research? And my first thoughts were that maybe hypnosis could be used to alter perception of time, to accelerate healing. Hypnosis is known for altering time perception, often making moments feel stretched or contracted, even in the absence of any suggestions for time alteration. This ties directly into the slow clock theory, suggesting that under hypnosis, internal clock can slow down. There are different ways a clinician could approach using hypnosis for time distortion to alter a client's perception of time. It could be that you teach someone to use self-hypnosis to alter time perception, and then suggest the task of them perhaps using self-hypnosis every day. You could perhaps suggest perceptual time alteration to occur during the session, maybe while engaging in the hypnosis, and then use post-hypnotic suggestions to suggest certain periods of each day will have altered time. Or it may work by having the part of the person that needs healing and the parts of them required for that healing to occur to experience altered perception of time. I plan on actually working on a video specifically about hypnotic time distortion, so if you don't want to miss this, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, and once I've made it, I'll also link it at the end of this current video. There are other techniques you could use. You could set tasks encouraging clients to engage in activities known to make time seem like it lasts longer. We've all experienced being a child and how as a child we seem to have so much time, yet as an adult time rushes past. As a child, almost everything was novel and new. Many things we did were perhaps exciting or scary or required a lot more cognitive processing. These can all lead to our perception of time passing slower. If you can encourage clients to have to do more information processing, then time will be perceived as running slower. This could be through cognitive tasks or through encouraging the client to learn something new or engage in novel activities and first-time experiences, or engage in highly stimulating experiences and engaging in a lot of varied experiences. If, for example, someone goes on a holiday and does a lot of experiences on that holiday, then it feels like a lot happened, and so it must have happened across a longer time period than really elapsed. If you go to work, sit at a desk, or do one task all day, during the day time may seem to drag on due to boredom. However, days seem to flash by because very little happened on any given day, so they seem like they were much shorter. You can obviously encourage clients to engage in mindfulness, in being present in the moment and not focusing on the past or the future. And this leads to the brain perceiving time slower as you take in your surroundings and immediate ongoing experience. Reducing stress and being relaxed can slow down perception of time, as can doing one thing at a time rather than trying to multitask. So I hope that this video has given you some fascinating insights into the incredible connection between our mind and body, and if it has, I have a favour to ask. I'm trying to grow this channel so that I can continue to make interesting and helpful content for psychological therapists and those just starting out in the field. And it would mean a lot if you share this with those you think might find it interesting and tell people about this channel. And I look forward to reading and obviously engaging with your comments. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching.